Hello everybody. So we're going to be looking at cases 5 and 6 both in this video because I'll show you when we get to the end of case 5 it's smaller than the rest, and then I'll show you case 6 when we're done with that one as well because it's one that's a different color than just black. So starting off our roster today is The Fox and the Hound 25th anniversary. It has been such a long time since I've seen that I don't really have much to say there. Then we have Fox and the Hound 2. I don't think I've ever seen that one personally. And then I have, this is a black and white live action triple feature of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's monster stuff, but the disc has a cartoon on it, right there. I couldn't tell you which ones are on here because I don't have the case downstairs or down in my workspace here. Then I have an open slot for the original Freaky Friday movie, as well as the one that is a musical. But I do have the one with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, where they switch bodies and Lindsay runs around as her mom, Jamie, and Jamie runs around as her daughter, Lindsay. The actresses aren't actually related, it's their characters that are. And then I have the horror movie version, Freaky. This is where a high school girl trades bodies with a serial killer. Fun stuff. Then we have Freddy versus Jason here, with disc 1 having Freddy, and the bonus features disc having Jason Voorhees. I have slots for Blu-rays and 4Ks for Freaky, as well as Freddy vs. Jason. And then I have Free Guy on DVD with a slot for the Blu-ray 4K. Freeway. This is kind of like a real world kind of like thriller sort of. And there's a sequel that I'm trying to get. And then there's Frequency. Friday the 13th parts 1 and 2. As a little point of trivia, the killer in the original Friday the 13th movie is not Jason. It is in fact his mother, Mrs. Voorhees. So if you're ever asked about scary movie trivia, now you can answer correctly on that particular question. And then here is Friday the 13th parts 3 and 4, the final chapter. I have slots saved for individual Blu-rays for all of these movies, because I'm not sure if the Blu-rays would be combined the way the DVDs are like this. They might be, but I don't know. And then here are parts 5 and 6, A New Beginning and Jason Lives. I believe in A New Beginning there's a copycat Jason that tries scaring people in his name. Again, I have 2 slots for the Blu-rays because I'm not sure if they'd be combined like those ones are. Then we have parts 7 and 8, The New Blood and Jason Takes a Boat to Manhattan and terrorizes the city for 10 minutes. Due to the title not making sense, I would put part 8 in the next to last position if I were to rank the Friday the 13th series. It would be one step above Jason X, which doesn't make sense in the franchise. And then with a slot for the Blu-ray and 4K, I have Jason Goes to Hell. And same deal with Jason X here. It's not that I don't like Jason X, it's just that given the rest of the franchise, it feels like kind of an oddball and like it doesn't fit in. Because it takes place far into the future on a like a spaceship sort of, or a space station of some sort. A movie that I quite thoroughly enjoyed both times that I watched it is Friday the 13th Killer Cut. This is the 2009 remake version, and Mrs. Voorhees is the killer for like the first 10 or 20 minutes of this. Then we have Sackhead Jason, followed by Ski Mask Jason. So we get many stages of Jason on that, with a slot for the Blu-ray and the 4K. Then I have right here is Friends to All Nations. Frosty the Snowman. I have Frosty Returns on VHS. I have a slot saved for Frosty Returns on DVD if I can find it. Then I have a ski lift type thriller, sort of that has the same name as a Disney movie that I'll be ranking on in December. Frozen. Not to be confused with Frozen Sing-Along Edition, Regular Edition, and the Blu-ray. Then we have Frozen 2. There we go. And the Blu-ray. I have 2 copies of Frozen 2 on DVD because I got the standalone DVD for both movies. I got a sing-along edition for the first movie, and then I got a Blu-ray combo pack for both of them. Next up, we have The Fugitive. Fury, I think this is a World War II film. G-Force, Guinea Pig Spies, like actual guinea pigs, like the creature. I work with a mole as well. Then we have Game Night on DVD and the Blu-ray. I think the Blu-ray disc looks cool with the paw prints on there. Although I don't recall there being actually there was a dog. Never mind, I remember that now. One of the characters that annoyed the other characters had a dog. Then there's the game plan with a young, thin The Rock in it. He's now, pardon my humor, he's now rocking it as Black Adam. But then we have GOT seasons 1 through 8. Season 1 on DVD, all 5 discs. Season 2, all 5 discs, DVD. Season 3, all 5 discs on DVD. Season 4, all 5 discs on DVD. Season 5, 4 discs on Blu-ray. Season 6, 4 discs on Blu-ray. Season 7, all 4 discs on DVD. And a 4K combo pack, Blu-ray 4K of Season 8. And then there's a Conquest and Rebellion, an animated history of the Seven Kingdoms that I also have here. And then we have Gamer with Mr. Gerard Butler. He's the Phantom that I like, the family opera that I like the most. We'll get to that further down the line in like case 9 or 10, something like that. Then we have Gangster Squad. That was an interesting gangster movie. Movie about gangsters, I should say. Then we have Galaxy Quest. This one would connect better with Trekkies. If you're into Star Trek, check out Galaxy Quest because it parodies it kind of like the same way Spaceballs does Star Wars. Then we have Garfield the movie. Garfield's looking very pleased with himself. And like, yes, I just ate a lasagna or two. And then we have Garfield: A Tale of Two Kittens. We have Gemini Man with a slot for the Blu-ray. This one is one that came out fairly recently. Looks like 2019 with Will Smith fighting a younger version of himself. Interesting premise. Haven't seen it yet. Then I have General Conference of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, April 2004. This is the 174th annual on 5 discs that all look like this. Then I have the 176th annual General Conference, April 2006. And that has 3 discs. I also have the 176th semi-annual from October of 06. All the discs look like that, I believe. Yes, they do. Okay. If discs look the same, I'm not going to bother showing them all. Then we have all 3 discs of the 177th annual General Conference from April of 07. The 179th 70 annual October of 09. All 3 discs look the same. Same with all 3 discs of the previous one. Then we have the semi-annual and the annual 2010, April and October. All 3 discs of each. The reason that most of these have 3 discs is because they have a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, priesthood session, Sunday morning, and Sunday afternoon sessions. So there's 5 sessions in total, and they decided after the 174th to put them all on 3 discs instead of 5. Then we have the 181st annual April 2011 conference. All 3 discs there. The October 101st from 2011. April and October of 2012 for the annual semi-annual. Looks like that, and looks like that on all of this. And we have the 183rd semi-annual on 3 discs here. All of them look like that with the mother reaching towards a smiling baby. And we have the 184th annual April 2014 conference. There we go. There's a statue of the Savior and 2 little girls. And here's the October semi-annual with some people on the disc there. And then we have the 185th annual General Conference, April 2015. All 3 discs look like that. And here's the 185th semi-annual, October of 2015. All 3 discs look like that. I think we're almost done with, yeah. So we're done with that. And then here's Generation Kill Disc 1. I only have 1 disc from that. I'm going to try and track down the other ones, or just buy the box set if there is one. And I have Season 1 of Get Smart. All the discs look like this. And I have Get Smart with like Steve Carell and Anne Hathaway there. I have the original Ghostbusters on DVD and Blu-ray. I'll show you the Blu-ray because it looks different from that. Here's the Blu-ray, and yes, it is oriented correctly. In case you're wondering why the ghost symbol is sideways. Then here's 2 on DVD, 2 on Blu-ray, again oriented correctly. Here's Ghostbusters Answer the Call, theatrical cut, and Blu-ray extended. And I just have the DVD for Afterlife, but I want to get the Blu-ray. I have a slot for it, of course. And then Ghost in the Shell, right here. That is the live-action movie with Scarlett Johansson in the leading role. Weird sticker over the faces of Matthew McConaughey and one of the actresses in Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. Interesting little movie there. And we have the Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins with slots for the Blu-ray and the 4K, which is also the case for G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra and Retaliation, right here. Both are really good movies. I haven't watched the Snake Eyes Origin movie yet, but I'm sure I will enjoy it because I enjoyed those 2 so much. Then we have Gifted, about a young, I want to say math prodigy, the girl in the sunglasses there on Chris Evans' shoulders. Really good story, that one. I like that quite a bit. Then we have The Girl in the Crawl Space, which I haven't watched yet. The Girl Next Door, that I want to get the Blu-ray of. If I can get it to show up properly. There, sort of. The Girl on the Train. Someone I know read the book and said that the movie should not be rated R, judging from the book, but it is. Gladiator. Romeo and Juliet, and the Blu-ray. Sherlock Gnomes, and the Blu-ray. All 3 Godfather discs look practically the same, one of them, but I do have the complete trilogy right there. I believe they may have been in the same case, in a trilogy case, if I'm not mistaken, like some sort of anniversary edition or something. Haven't watched any of those yet. I started the original once, but I only got about 2 minutes in before I got distracted with chores. And we have Godsend. I have not yet watched this one, but it looks interesting. And I read what it said, a little blurb on the back of the case, and it looked like a good story. Then we have Gods of Egypt, again with Gerard Butler. And I'm not sure who else is on the disc with him right there. Yeah. So I want to get the DVD for this because it was a standalone Blu-ray, which is fine. I do enjoy Blu-ray. I like DVDs too. Then we have God's Not Dead, the first one, and God's Not Dead 2. I think there is a third one, so I have a slot for the third one. Something I have a slot for a Blu-ray of, and I believe it's 4K. Yes. Is Godzilla with Matthew Broderick as one of the human components. I enjoy that version of Godzilla. One that I don't enjoy as much is Godzilla Final Wars. This is the bookend of a 50-year collection that the Matthew Broderick Godzilla is included in. I have a spot for the Blu-ray and the 4K, of course. And I have two different DVDs for Godzilla 2014. I have back in the day, I bought a rental copy from I believe Safeway sold it to me, and I don't think they realized it was a rental copy. And then I have the same disc in black, but it's a traditional copy right there. This has something kind of interesting is that it has two of the leading human characters are Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, only instead of being siblings in this, they're married with Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen. So it's curious because I'm so used to them being Wanda and Pietro Maximoff that it's like, what are they doing? And then I have Kong Skull Island and the Blu-ray because I got the Blu-ray combo pack. Thoroughly enjoyed watching that in March of this year. This year being 2022, in case you watch this video in 2023 or beyond. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Only the DVD so far. The Blu-ray 4K. I have two slots for Kong Skull Island because I'm pretty sure the only way to get a 4K is in a 4K Blu-ray combo. And then I have Godzilla versus Kong. This follows up this follows up the the 3-movie series of Godzilla 2014, Kong Skull Island, and King of the Monsters, Godzilla. So there's this. This one reintroduces Mecha Godzilla, which is a robot version of the giant lizard thing, or lizard monster, whatever it is. I was pleasantly surprised with that. I thought they did a remarkable job. That is one that I have the Blu-ray combo pack for, so I have a Blu-ray as well, with the 2 slots for the 4K combo pack. Golden Compass, never seen it. Gone in 60 Seconds, also never seen it. And I have a slot for the DVD The Good Dinosaur by Pixar, which will be featured in an upcoming video as well with my 31 on 31 in December. Then we have The Good Girl here. If I can get it to, anyway. And there's Good Luck Chuck. Looks like it's extended version on Blu-ray. I don't really care to get the DVD for that one because I wasn't super impressed with the movie. It's probably one I'll watch once or twice a year, maybe. Then we have The Goonies. I do want to upgrade this to Blu-ray and 4K, but I don't have slots saved for that yet. I will soon. Then I have a bunch of Goosebumps titles from the TV series by R.L. Stine. We have Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns collection. I think that has like 3 or 4 episodes. Same with The Blob That Ate Everyone. Ghost Beach, A Night in Terror Tower, and Scary House. All of these are, I think, have 3 or 4 episodes each. I've seen Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns and The Blob That Ate Everyone, but I have not seen any of the other 3 in their discs at all. And then next up we have Goosebumps with Jack Black as R.L. Stine. I don't know what R.L. Stine looks like, so I can't say how accurate he looks in the role. And I also have Goosebumps 2 from that same continuity. And then we have Gospel Messages for the introductory. Gospel Messages. Our Heavenly Father's Plan, Together Forever, What is Real, Labor of Love, and the Prodigal Son, right here. And Gothica. I'm noticing this case only covers 2 letters. Shows how big the F and G sections are, because there are still more G's to come. Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer, which is not something you should ever watch with your grandmother, because if she's anything like mine, she will hate it. Just based on the message that it portrays of grandma getting run over by a reindeer. Of course, any grandmother would hate that message. Okay. I'm going to hit pause and I'll be right back with case number 6. But as far as the audience is concerned, I won't be gone at all. Okay, so before we get into this next case, I would like to show you my two Lego-esque, off-brand Lego, visitors for this episode, and they are Chucky holding Sting from Child's Play. I believe it's based off the seed of Chucky, based on his facial scars. And Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street. He had a second claw, so I give them both to him. I think that looks awesome, so I'm going to leave it like that, personally, because I like the way that it looks. He has an Indiana Jones hat, which I think is a very creative use for that hat piece. And Chucky was sporting Professor Snape's hair in Weasley orange. Then I have 3 copies of Gravity with George Clooney and I believe Sandra Bullock. I have DVD, 3D Blu-ray, and regular Blu-ray. Are most TVs today able to do 3D at all? I don't know. Then we have The Great Outdoors right here with Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. I don't know who John Candy is, but I know Dan Aykroyd from the Ghostbusters franchise. Then we have Green Eggs and Ham, season 1. This is a newer show. I have not yet watched it. Discs 1 and 2. One of the discs has Sam I Am, and the other one has the guy that he's trying to get to eat said green eggs and ham. We have Green Hornet, kind of one of those one-off superhero stories that didn't do all that well. Then we have Gremlins Special Edition. Gremlins is pretty good. I enjoyed watching it. Gizmo is just super adorable. Don't feed a gremlin after midnight or get them wet, ever. Those are two of the worst things you could do with a gremlin. Then we have Gremlins 2, The New Batch. This one kind of makes fun of the original movie while trying to be a sequel to it. Then I have the DVD and a Blu-ray for the original animated Grinch movie. And I have the live-action How the Grinch Stole Christmas, featuring Jim Carrey as the Grinch, right there. And then I have the Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch with a Blu-ray, or a slot for the Blu-ray for both of the previous two titles, this one and the Jim Carrey versions. And then I have Groundhog Day with a slot for a Blu-ray. Groundhog Day is a time loop story. Judging from the title, you can tell when it takes place. And there's one scene where I forget the actor's name, Bill Murray, I think. His character drives off a cliff trying to prove the point that he's in a time loop, and the truck lands upside down, and someone says, well, he might be okay. Then the truck explodes. And he's like, probably not now, though. Now he's kind of a smoldering pile of ash. I didn't quote it directly, but that gives you an idea of what it is. I find humor in that. And then we have Grown Ups, which I have not yet seen, with a slot for the sequel, because I'm a completionist, of course. Then we have theatrical release of The Grudge. This is the 2004 or 2005 version, something like that. There is a newer version out. I just don't know when it came out. I want to say like in the 2019 it says. Okay. Then I have the extended director's cut of the original Grudge. I'll just call it the original Grudge, moving on in future videos. And I also have the theatrical and the director's cut of The Grudge 2, but the discs look exactly the same. I have slots for Blu-rays for each of them. And then I have 3 slots for The Grudge 3. One for the theatrical, one for the extended, and one for the Blu-ray. Then I have a slot for the DVD of the 2019 version of The Grudge. I think that they call this one the Untold Chapter. And then I have Jack Black in Gulliver's Travels. Guardians, never seen it, but it looks really good. Halloween. I just did a ranking on that and on the titular holiday. Halloween 2, also included in that ranking, with slots for the Blu-rays and 4Ks of each movie in the franchise, so I'll only say it once. Season of the Witch. We all know I don't like this movie very much as a Halloween movie. Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers, my bad. Halloween 5, Revenge of Michael Myers. Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers. Halloween 7, H2O 20 years later. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Also not a great movie. And Halloween 2 from Rob Zombie. Also very bad movie. Very bad. I think it is terrible. Same with Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 is better because it has more of an entertainment value, but the characters are all really horrible people. Horrible characters that you want to see killed. We'll put it that way. Halloween Resurrection. I believe this is the 8th one in the main continuity. Halloween 9, or the 2018 version. Halloween Kills, which I believe is the 10th installment, and Halloween Ends hasn't yet come out, but I will be getting it eventually. So I have 3 slots set aside for that for the DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K, because I have none of the above, because they are not available to my knowledge. I have Halloween Town 1 and 2, Calabar's Revenge, right there from Disney. I believe these were old Disney Channel movies. There's like 3 or 4 of these, I believe. One of those Return to Halloween Town, and I think there's one in between 2 and Return. Then we have theatrical cut of Hancock, and what I believe is an extended cut or something, or director's cut. It might be the same runtime, but slightly different. I noticed that the theatrical cut has a yellow background on the disc, and the unrated, I think, director's cut or something has a blue background. Then we have Hannah. This is a great little thriller movie about a girl named Hannah being trained to be an assassin and not knowing anything of life except said training. So I have a slot for the Blu-ray for that. Hannibal Rising. This is the Hannibal Lecter origin story. Red Dragon, I think, is in a similar vein to that, with Blu-rays for each saved slots. Saved slots for the Blu-ray of Silence of the Lambs, but this one has 2 discs. Disc 1 has a single butterfly, disc 2 has 2 of them, right there. And it looks like there's a skull face on the back of the butterfly, because that's common. Then we have Hannibal, looks like from 2001. 2 discs, they look practically the same, just like with the Hancock, different color background. Same font, same everything else. Then I hear that this is a different cut of Red Dragon. They decided to call Manhunter. So this is another Hannibal Lecter like origins type movie. Blu-ray saved for all of the above Hannibal Lecter movies. For new content. And then I have Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was pretty good. So I have a Blu-ray slot saved. Happy Death Day 1 is a Blu-ray slot waiting to be filled. Same with Happy Death Day to You, the second one in the series. I hope they make a third, but I haven't heard anything, so I don't have a slot saved for that. And then we have Happy Feet on DVD and on transparent Blu-ray that you can practically see right through if the angle is correct. Happy Feet 2, I'll show you what I mean. You can see right through it. Here, I'll have the disc upside down. You can vaguely see how Happy Feet 2 in the behind the disc. A lot of DC Blu-rays do that same thing. I have 2 DVD copies of Happy Feet because one came in a combo pack with the Blu-ray right there. That disc is not transparent. Then we have Happily Never After and Happily Never After 2. Those make fun of fairy tales, and they have like a scale in it that they can change, like happy ending or unhappy ending type thing. Then we have Harry and the Hendersons, copy 1, copy 2. Sorcerer's Stone and disc 2. I love the Harry Potter franchise, so I'm going to try and get the Blu-ray and the 4Ks for all of the movies. 2 of them I do have existing Blu-rays. One of my Blu-ray ones I need to get the DVD for. Then we have Chamber of Secrets and disc 2. Prisoner of Azkaban and disc 2 with Aunt Marge as a balloon, which I think is one of my favorite moments in that movie personally. That and explaining how the time turner works. Goblet of Fire. This is year 4. Then I have Order of Phoenix only on Blu-ray. Half-Blood Prince only on DVD so far. So I'll have to get the DVD in 4K for 5 and the Blu-ray 4K for 6. And I have the DVD and the Blu-ray for 7 Part 1 DVD, Blu-ray. So I need just the 4K for that particular one. And Harry Potter 7 or Deathly Hallows Part 2. 8th movie, but it's a continuation of movie 7, so there you go. Perfectly not confusing at all. The Haunting with Liam Neeson. I used to have the VHS, but I gave it to one of my friends for free. Both of these discs look the same, so I have a 2-disc or I guess mini-series or something of Hauntings in America. Playable worldwide. Thank goodness. And then we have A Haunting in Georgia, based on true events, supposedly. Haunting in Connecticut 1, there is a sequel that I have a slot saved for. R.L. Stine's Haunting Hour, Don't Think About It. I watched that with my dad recently. We both were entertained by it. Then we have The Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. I thoroughly enjoyed this one, and Muppet Haunted Mansion is really good on Disney Plus. If you have Disney Plus, definitely check that out if you haven't already, or even if you have. Still fun to check it out again. I will be soon. Then we have The Heartbreak Kid, um, Ben Stiller. There you go. Then we have a Heat in the Street 8-pack on 2 discs. A Resting Place, Spencer, A Savage Place, The Glass Shield, and Fresh are on this disc. Fresh from '94, not the new horror movie. Then we have License to Kill, Spencer, Pale Kings and Princes, Chance and Momentum. I think one of these has Samuel Jackson, if not a couple of them do. But he's on the package for it, or the case. So I assume he's in at least one of the above. Then we have Pooh's Heffalump Movie. Maybe even all of the above, who knows? I don't, because I haven't watched them yet. Pooh's Heffalump Halloween Movie. There we go. All 5 Herbie the Love Bugs movies. We have 1, The Love Bug. 2, Herbie Rides Again. 3, Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. Right there. 4, Herbie Goes Bananas. And the most recent one is 5, Herbie Fully Loaded. This one has Lindsay Lohan and Michael Keaton, Batman himself, or the Vulture, depending on which franchise we're going for. Those are his 2 most recognizable roles in my mind. Then we have He's Just Not That Into You. That sounds like a hilarious movie. I am very much looking forward to checking that one out. Speaking of hilarious movies, last night I watched She's the Man with Amanda Baines and Channing Tatum. Hilarious, loved it. I'll be watching that at least once per month. Hide and Seek with a young, like 5 or 6-year-old Dakota Fanning. High School Musical, Encore Edition. High School Musical 2, Extended Edition. High School Musical 3, Senior Year. And since it has one of the same characters as the above mentioned trilogy, Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure. This one was the only one of these that has been theatrically released. The other 3 are Disney Channel movies. I enjoyed the High School Musical trilogy, and I enjoyed what I had seen in Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure. I have not yet finished it, and I'm probably just going to have to restart it again because I started watching it this time 2021. Then we have an unrated version of The Hills Have Eyes and The Hills Have Eyes 2 that came in a 2-pack, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That or they came separately, I don't remember. Then we have Hiroshima, the complete miniseries event, right there. Is that President Truman that was involved in that? And then we have a Mormon Tabernacle Choir Orchestra at Temple Square, historic visit to Nauvoo, with the Nauvoo Temple there on the disc. Kind of see it in the background there. A History of Violence with what looks like a revolver cartridge on the disc, a 44, 44 round, 44 caliber, I think. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This features one Bilbo Baggins, also Everett Ross in the MCU. Hitler, The Rise of Evil. Hitler Stole My Ideas. The Battle of Germany, The Final Act. Hitler's Religion. The Battle of Berlin, Death of a City. Those are the documentaries included on here. I don't believe I've seen any of them all the way through. I started Hitler Stole My Ideas, and then I had to do, or then I wanted to play a game or something, and never went back and finished it because it lost my place. And then we have Hitman Special Edition. The T is two pistols, not a jackhammer. Pneumatic throw, whatever you want to call it. It has two discs. The second disc looks like that, slightly different. So every character has a logo of some sort. Then we have The Hobbit. This is an animated version. One of 3 animated versions that I don't have slots for the other ones. But the other ones were, I think, were Lord of the Rings and Return of the King. Then we have the theatrical cut of The Hobbit Unexpected Journey with a runtime of 169 minutes. Then we have the Blu-ray extended edition of Unexpected Journey. This one is 182 minutes. I think they fleshed out some of the battle sequences with that one. Then we have Desolation of Smaug, theatrical release only. 161 minutes. And the Battle of the Five Armies, 144 minutes, the shortest of the Hobbit movies. That one is only 2 hours and 20 minutes or so, where the rest are like closer to 3 hours, I think. I do have slots for the Blu-rays and the 4Ks for all of the above, except for one that I mentioned I have the Blu-ray extended of for the Hobbit franchise. Then we have Hocus Pocus 1. I want to get the Blu-ray and the 4K, as well as Hocus Pocus 2 Blu-ray and 4K, and the DVD. Then we have Hollow Man. Interesting story there of Kevin Bacon's character coming up with an invisibility serum of some sort that, and then the reason they call him Hollow Man is because they made him a plaster head to wear so they could see him, sort of, outside of having an outfit on. So it didn't just look like a floating outfit like the Invisible Man has, I guess. We'll be getting to the Invisible Man here shortly. I don't know if it's in this case or in case 7, but we'll be getting there shortly, either later tonight around 7 p.m. It's going on 5 p.m. now, or possibly tomorrow. Then we have Hollow Man 2, which has a different actor. It's no longer Kevin Bacon, but somebody else figured out how to do the same thing. Holiday Inn. Yeah. Holiday in Handcuffs, a Hallmark movie. Or ABC Family, I guess. My bad. Sounds like a Hallmark movie. That's why I said that. Home Party Edition. Home Alone. Family Fun Edition. Home Alone Lost in New York. Second one. These two are my favorites with the Disney Plus version. which is number 6. Then we have Home Alone 3. Nothing too special there. Basically just cashing in on the name. Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House. I do not have the 5th one, or number 6, so I have slots saved for those 2 movies. Then we have Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco. Hoodwinked, with slots for the sequel. Hook, with a slot for the Blu-ray. And 4K. No, correction. A slot for DVD of the next title. Hop, which has that same transparent look to it. Hope Springs Eternal. Thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It introduced me to one of my favorite songs of 2021, which is You're Worth It. Check out the song if you're interested in hearing that. Dr. Seuss's Horton Hears a Who, the original version. And a remake, Dr. Seuss Horton Hears a Who. This version I think came out in 2008 or 9, something like that. 2 copies of Hostel. 2 copies of Hostel 2. They both copies look the same. And only 1 copy of the 3rd one, because I got a trilogy pack. That's why I have double of the first 2. With slots for Blu-rays of all of the above. And then a slot for the DVD of Hot Tub Time Machine, because I have the extended Blu-ray here. Then I have the DVD of Hot Tub Time Machine 2, as well as the Blu-ray, which is the same disc but in blue, right there. The letters are see-through. Hotel for Dogs. Hotel Transylvania on DVD times 2, and on Blu-ray. Blu-ray combo pack, you know how that works. Hotel Transylvania 2 with a slot for a Blu-ray. 3 with a slot for the Blu-ray. I do not have slots saved currently for Hotel Transylvania 4 Transylmania, I think. Then House Bunny again on a standalone disc. House of Wax. I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I just will probably wait until next Halloween season. House of the Clock in the Walls. As well as a Blu-ray combo pack. House Sitter. How Rare a Possession, the Book of Mormon. How to Eat Fried Worms. Gross. HR Puff and Stuff, Complete Series Disc 1, 2, 3. I grew up watching that with my sister. I guess it only had 1 season. I Am Legend. I Can Only Imagine. This one was a recommendation from my friend Austin Hardy. Great guy. Great movie. I Feel Pretty. The lead actress in that movie gets a concussion and thinks she's the Prettiest thing since beauty itself. And then she gets another concussion and thinks she looks like trash, which is how she started off. And we have I Love Lucy Season 2, discs 1 through 5. They all look different, so I'll show them all off. There you go. Next up, we have a movie called I Love You, Beth Cooper. Thoroughly enjoyed watching that one. It's kind of a romantic comedy. Usually not my type of movie, but it works just fine. I enjoyed it for what it is. And then we have I Know What You Did Last Summer with a slot for the Blu-ray. Kind of hard to see there. Then there's I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which I started and never finished. And then the last movie for right now, but I'll be back in about an hour, is I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. The only thing I know about that franchise is that apparently it takes place in the same year. So that is all for now. Like I said, I'll be back in about an hour, but for you guys, it'll be no time at all. We're currently at an hour and 2 minutes. See you later. And 1 hour later, I am back. So, continuing on from where we were with I'll Always Know What You Did last summer, is I Know Who Killed Me with Lindsay Lohan. Interesting story. Lindsay Lohan in this is a twin, an identical twin, and whatever happens to one of them happens to the other. So let's say one of them had to have their arm amputated, both of them would end up losing an arm. And I have the original 1978 director's cut of I Spit on Your Grave. And I'll get on Blu-ray. And there's the 2010 I Spit on Your Grave movie. Again, this is a director's cut, I believe, and it is kind of the same story, but it adds new elements to it. Both are kind of revenge stories. That movie, however, has 3 sequels. There are 4 remakes based on one original. So they have slots for the sequels. And the Blu-ray and then the sequels. I do not have slots saved for the sequel or Blu-ray sequel or Blu-rays of the sequels. But I have slots for the sequels themselves, if that makes any sense. And I have Ice Age 1 through 5 right here. Fun little kids movies. There's 3. Not have the 5th one, Buck's Wild Adventure. Buck Wild's Adventure, one of the 2. Poor prehistoric squirrel, never able to catch his nut, his acorn. He always tries to get that acorn. Never works. Ice Princess. The Illusionist. That's a magician's story. Not there. Disc 1. Disc 2. Imagine That with Eddie Murphy. of Inception because I got a standalone DVD and a Blu-ray combo pack. Here's the Blu-ray and the special features Blu-ray. The Incredibles, disc 1 and 2. Slot for a Blu-ray. The Incredibles 2 with a slot for the Blu-ray. Independence Day, the original. And Resurgence. Apparently Will Smith is expensive. Raiders of the Lost Ark with slot for Blu-ray 4K. Temple of Doom, same deal, Blu-ray 4K slots. Last Crusade, same deal. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, 2-disc edition. Slots for Blu-ray and 4K. And I have 2 other copies as well. Indiana Jones bonus material. I do have slots for the upcoming Indiana Jones 5 Blu-ray and 4K as well. DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. And we have Indian Wars discs 1 and 2. They both look the same. Da Vinci Code 1, 2 discs. Not listings apparently. Angels and Demons, Da Vinci Code number 2. With slots for Blu-rays of each. Inferno, Da Vinci Code 3. Blu-ray and DVD for Inglourious Bastards. Quentin Tarantino movie. Set in World War II by the looks of it. Inside Out. Slot for Blu-ray. Not sure why this is. Oh, Inside Out 2. There's going to be an Inside Out 2, so I have a slot for that and its Blu-ray. And then we have Insidious. Insidious 1 and Chapter 2. Chapter 3 and The Last Key. I think there might be a 5th movie soon, and I want to get individual Blu-rays for all of the existing 4. Inspector Gadget and Inspector Gadget 2. I used to think it was the same actor in both, but one is French Stewart, the other is Matthew Broderick. The Intern. The Interpreter. In the Service of Your God. Church. To get rid of unnecessary items. Into the Woods. This is the 2015 movie version. Invasion of the Body Snatchers with a slot for either an older version or a Blu-ray. I have not yet decided on that. Invisible Man. So we'd get to that soon. And Invisible Man, the Blu-ray. The Iron Giant Signature Edition. Also includes the theatrical cut. Stephen King's It miniseries. With a slot for Blu-ray, if there even is one. It Chapter 1. With a slot for the Blu-ray. It Chapter 2 has 2 discs, the same. slot for a Blu-ray. It Happened to Jane. Italian Job. It's kind of a funny story. I wish I had a funny story to go along with this, but I have not yet watched it, so I do not have anything to say about this one other than the title is. It's kind of a funny story. Makes me think it's definitely a comedy by the title of that. And I have the original black and white as well as a colorized version of It's a Wonderful Life. Never seen either version. Which is better, the colorized or the black and white? Jack and Jill. A slot for Jack Reacher 1, because I have Jack Reacher 2, Never Go Back, right here, with Mr. Tom Cruise in both movies. Then we have The Hunt for Red October in the Jack Ryan franchise. I put A Sum of All Fears under S, so we'll get to that much later on, even though that is another Jack Ryan movie. And then we have Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. Jaws, classic movie. With a slot for a Blu-ray. Jaws 2, slot for a Blu-ray. Oops. There you go. Jaws 3, 3D. That is just a 2D version. Slot for a Blu-ray, of course. Jaws The Revenge, slot for a Blu-ray. Another music album here is Jessica Simpson, Irresistible. Never heard of any of the songs. Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, the movie. Jingle All the Way with Mr. Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger. John Adams, Disc 1, Disc 2, and 3 look pretty much the same, but I'll go ahead and show them anyway because they are slightly different. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, the disc is cracked a little bit on that one. I'm not sure how well it'll work because of that. John Wick with a slot for a Blu-ray and 4K, because I thoroughly enjoy this franchise. Super excited for John Wick 4 coming up soon. John Wick 2, Blu-ray 4K, and John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. See this Parabellum means if you want peace, prepare for war. I only know that because they say that in the movie. Exlad. No, it's Exlad, that's a dead language. But it does have some good quotes. Parabellum. Prepare for war. Johnny English. Never seen it. Joseph Smith, Plates of Gold. The Times and Teachings of Joseph Smith, Volume 1. It's funny, I have the case itself under T for Times, but the disc is under J for Joseph. I should probably reorganize that to make it make more sense and be more coherent. Journey to the Center of the Earth, don't know which version, but it says 2007, so it's probably the version with Brendan Fraser. Yeah, probably the same, but different copy of the disc, so there you go. Journey to Mysterious Island, this one features The Rock. Joy to the World, right there. Judy Moody and the Not Bummer Summer. Try saying that 10 times fast. The original and classic Jumanji. on DVD, Blu-ray slot for 4K. Welcome to the Jungle, Jumanji 2, slot for Blu-ray and 4K, as well as Jumanji The Next Level, same slots apply for that as well. Then we have Jumper. Good grief. You can tell I'm filming this later in the day because there's no longer a light in the background over here, as that is a window for sunlight, which there is none anymore. Jungle Book. Disc 1. Disc 2. With a slot for the Blu-ray, and that brings us to the end of case number 6. We are at 1 hour and 16 minutes now, but for me it's been 2 hours and 16 minutes because, 2 hours and 16 with a runtime on this episode at 1 hour and 16. The reason it's been 2 hours and 16 minutes for me is because I took an hour off and hung out with my best friend Bryce and played cards with him. And we had a great deal of fun. So this one goes from G to J. That's a decent amount of space covered, I do say so. Nice stuff. And as promised, since this case is blue, I will go ahead and show that. So here is case number 6, and for comparison's sake, here's the thickness, and this is the thickness of case number 5. So you can see it's about half as thick. Here they are together. Together they take up the entire screen. So that is all for this video. Again, here are Freddy and Chucky, Freddy Krueger and Charles Lee Ray, aka Chucky, and Freddy. There you go. Freddy does have an alternate face, which makes no sense given that his hat doesn't even cover it completely. But whatever. And that alternate expression doesn't even make sense as a Freddy Krueger face, because he's supposed to look burned and deformed like Deadpool. Or rather, Deadpool looks like Freddy Krueger. So, yeah, that is all that I have for you this time. And this is 1 hour and 18 minutes. Hopefully that is not a problem for anyone. But if you enjoy my videos like this, in 2023 I'll be doing another collection video where I go through all my disc physical media and exclude the VHS tapes. So be looking forward for that. That video would probably end up being about 8 hours, maybe even longer, because I have over 3,600 movies in my collection. And if I have a relatively short story for each one that I've seen, we're looking at a good 8-hour video. So that would be kind of ridiculous. But I want to try and do it all in one shoot. Whether or not I pause it and take a break like I did today or not is unclear, but be looking forward to that if you enjoy watching very long-winded videos on YouTube. Until then, we are at 1 hour and 20 minutes, and I will say goodbye for this video. I might be back in about 10-20 minutes or so with case number 7 and then 8 and 9 perhaps. But I think if I do a single case, it usually takes about half hour, 45 minutes. So yeah, and I'll have a couple more minifigures to show in those as well, because I have a lot of those. I don't even bother counting them because I have so many. But yeah, I'll start having like 1 or 2 minifigures per video here for the duration of my collection case videos.